Let's talk to Mr. Pothole, because there's something about inflation of potholes that's going on. There's a lot more potholes now per square mile than there's ever been. He's going to give us the rundown on why election promises are not all they seem to be. Mr. Pothole, Mark Morell, very good morning to you, sir.
Morning, Mike.
Good to talk to you. We're getting very near a local election, which is when you know the politicians are all going to be out in force talking about fixing potholes, because that's all they want to do. Tell us about what they're saying and what they're actually doing.
Right, well, I tweeted, any politician that says they're going to fix pothole Britain is either frankly deluded, ignorant of the size of the problem, or just not telling you the truth. I mean, I think you should call the UK Fantasy Island, because there was a television programme some years ago about it. Exactly about the, they're taking us for mugs, like on the prices and inflation. Same thing, government are saying they're going to invest £1.6 billion, and they say it's a record amount. Well, in fact, in 2022, 2023, there was £1.7 billion put into our road network. And that's going to fix 7 million potholes. Well, the size of the problem is nearly £17 billion. And reality is that councils, some of the councils that are, my local council here in West Northamptonshire has got over a £300 million backlog. So an extra small amount of money from central government isn't going to do anything. The network's failing, it's getting older. And the cost of repairs, because every time someone repairs a vehicle, government get VAT on that, don't they?
Yeah, well, you would think they would be happy with that, wouldn't you? The Asphalt Industry Alliance have said this, basically: to fix every pothole in Britain would mean filling in one every 18 seconds every day for the next 10 years. Yeah,
I mean, it's a colossal task. As I've said before, Mike, the answer, it's wasting money. We see poor quality repairs. Everybody sees what the standard of the works, and I've argued that there should be every operative who works on our roads should be trained to fit potholes. I mean, there isn't actually a national standard in terms of getting people trained up to do the job right and having the right materials. We see a lot of waste. There's hundreds of millions of pounds being wasted each year through poor application. Resurfacing our roads is the real answer, because the lifespan of a road is about 20 to 30 years. Most of ours are getting up to 90, as you see in that report. And unless government invests an extra £3 billion index linked annually to a resurfacing programme, we haven't seen any difference. But it's absurd when you see ministers going out to Derbyshire, criticising Derbyshire, because it is one of the worst places, I accept that. But Nottinghamshire ain't that far behind, and they're good at blowing their trumpet, and it's all about the last 14 years. Yes, the Conservatives didn't help, but the actual backlog doubled in the 10 years from 2000 and from the year 2000 2010 under Labour. So they've got nothing to go on about. To be honest, as I said, I think some people that write this for these politicians, I think the writer must be Hans Christian Andersen, because they're all fairy tales.
Well, indeed. Speaking of which, let's have a Keir Starmer clip. This is what he said a couple of weeks ago on potholes.
This is pothole damage. You can see it hit a pothole and it just ruins the sidewalk.
A hit a pothole. Be strong enough to break
Basically,
that?
Yes, it will be.
I've lost at least 3 tyres down to potholes, twice in 2 months.
First thing we need to do is get a bit of accountability into it, to know which councils are doing what where, how many times they're filling in holes, so we can get a bit of data on that, which we haven't got. But what we're announcing today is to incentivise them to get on and do it.
We obviously have customers day in, day out coming in with the same issues, and I think having spoken to a man who can actually, bring change and make something happen about it, that can only be a positive thing for him to come in and see it in real terms.
I had to change all of my tyres at the end, and it's quite nice that we see things done to fill in the potholes at the moment.
So he promises to collect a load of data on potholes. Has he started doing that yet, do you know?
I mean, I cringe, really. There's loads of data. I've used AI showing exactly what the details are. They probably do know what they need to do. They just haven't got the.
Has anyone from the government been in touch with you?
No, I mean,
because you're the nationwide expert.
Yeah, but I've done some work. My evidence is all in part of the Transport Select Committee inquiry that Lillian Greenwood, the current future roads minister, was the chair of the Select Committee. It was a brilliant chair of the Select Committee. All the answers are in that report. All my suggestions are still valid, and I really had great hopes that she'd make some difference. But I think it's they get in power, and then suddenly reality is there, and they can't do this, they can't do that. No, they won't engage with me. several media people trying to get to have a bit of a debate with me, but they won't come near me because, unfortunately, I can blow holes in the lies and statistics because I know more of it. I've met some of their advisors, and no wonder we're in the state we are, because some of these political advisors, to be honest, ain't worth a light.
No, they've never been outside Westminster. Never mind outside of London, you know, because I drive down in Sussex quite a bit, and what I would say to you, and you probably say this is happening everywhere, is that a lot of the main trunk roads are actually in pretty good shape, but it's the smaller roads, which are the roads that people drive on all the time, it's where they live, is where a lot of the damage is.
It is, you're right, and there's a report showing that in some cases, I think some authorities the last financial year didn't spend any money maintaining particular roads.
Right.
I mean, it's a nonsense. It's become an international embarrassment. I've done some stuff with French television. Later this month, I'm doing something with a substantial American broadcaster that looks like, because there's a big interest. I've actually retired during all the campaign I used to, Mike. I can't afford to do it anymore. However, I'm still watching.
Good.
I will make comments at appropriate times, and I think because of the local elections, it was an appropriate time.
Yes.
But I don't think government. I've got to think no one's watching over their shoulder, because I'm watching everything.
Yeah. Well, we'll come back to you for a proper summation, perhaps after the elections, as to what they're supposedly going to do, what they have done, and what they won't do. But it's good to see you back in action, Mark. Very good to see you again, Mr. Pothole, Mark Morell, a man who has led a one-man campaign for years. Basically, he's been doing it. We've been talking to him for many, many years here at Talk. And it's a shame that the government doesn't want to talk to him, because he's the man that knows exactly what is going on.